Bum. Okay, that is up and going. Sweet. Over to the Facebooks. Boom. Okay. There, so we got that going. We got that going. Very good. Wonder what the actual non-promo look of these cards is gonna be. I really like the look of the Walk of the Plank. Looks really nice. Okay, so waiting for a couple people. I just posted it, so we're gonna see how many people we can get in the stream. Let me know in the chat if you go to the chat actually, if the mic's a little too loud or if there's any background noise or anything like that. I looked at everything before, but you never know until somebody else says something. So really do appreciate it if someone could do that. We're gonna start off from the oldest to the newest, and try to get at least, a draft perspective, a standard perspective, even modern. See what we can do for that. Wait for a couple more. Well, darn. Alright, well, I'm just going to start with the review process. People can kind of come in as we kind of go forward. So we're going to start off right here, like I said, at the oldest. This is already back almost 2 weeks now. Pretty close to 2 weeks. We have Walk the Plank, 2 black sorcery, destroy target non-merfolk. This is probably going to be a good once the rotation happens when Fatal Push leaves the format. I see it being at least playable in some circumstances. It is kind of the go for the throat at sorcery speed. It's not great. That's what it comes down to. Gorgeous looking card and really cool game day promo, but just not a good card. The next one is Unclaimed Territory. It's a land. When it comes into play, you choose a creature type, and then you basically get to add a mana of the color as long as you spend it on creature spells of the chosen type. This is directly reminiscent of a card called Cavern of Souls. The only difference is Cavern of Souls allowed you, as long as you use colored mana to cast a spell, it was uncounterable. Now that was a mythic and one of the most played cards in Modern and some other formats, legacy formats. Super good card. It's also pretty expensive. I really like reprints like this. This is a really functional reprint. I think it's going to do great things for Modern. It's going to do awesome things for mana fixing for a lot of these 3-color, 4-color decks that are going to be in Standard. And it's going to be a really good opportunity for a lot of people to pick this up for like their commander decks, tribal commander decks, stuff like that. So really, really cool. I'm excited to have good cards like that out there available for people. Next one is a 3-mana, 4/3 vehicle, Crew 1. Pretty basic overall. It's not going to make crazy waves. I know it seems like, oh man, it's Crew 1. It'll be really good in draft, and that's a good thing. The problem is as we're going to get to, some of the removal is pretty good for things like this. So sadly, that 3 toughness is going to bite it. Next one is a 5-mana 3/4. At the human part, it says whenever it comes into play, create 2 colorless treasure artifact tokens with sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana, and you have any color to your mana pool, and you have to tap it. Now, this brings up a big discussion of why. Oh, crazy waves. What kind of crazy waves? Okay. Why does it have to tap? Like, why don't they use like a gold token, like we already have in the game? The big reason is we still have the improvise mechanic. So technically, if this didn't have to tap for it, you could use this for almost 2 mana. And also, it also allows them to differentiate it for different sets and stuff like that. So pretty important, and I'm pretty happy about it. Yeah. Okay. For draft, this actually is going to be pretty sweet. 5 mana, 3/4 isn't terrible, and then you also get kind of pseudo 2 mana back and mana fixing. So this is not going to be that bad of a card in draft. It has no playability in any constructor formats at all. There's that, but yeah. Next one, 3 mana, 2/2. Ooh, okay. 3 mana, 2/2. Merfolk Scout. This is the first instance of green Merfolk that we're going to see in this. It's your typical Grey Ogre. Big thing with this one, though, is it explores when it first comes in. Explore is reveal the top card of your library, put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a ++ counter on it, and then put the card back or put it in the graveyard. So it has kind of a pseudo scry effect to it, but going to the graveyard instead of going to the bottom of the library. This is a really, really powerful mechanic, and I think will have implications down the line depending on what it actually ends up being on. This guy's going to be awesome in limited. It may see constructed playability just as a beater. It depends on how mid-range the format really wants to be and how much mana fixing they're going to need for the format. So we're going to see the boat. Next is the Old Growth Dryads. 1 mana, 3/3. Oh boy, you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. The biggest issue is why is it 1 mana? Is whenever it enters the battlefield, each opponent may search his or her library for a basic land, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle his or her library. This is a weird stipulation on a card like this. For only a 3/3, this isn't going to see play in Modern because now you have Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, Path, just to really abuse this thing. In Standard, giving your opponent faster mana in a format that's already kind of slowing down a little bit, I don't really see that as a good idea. And then in Commander, each opponent, I think this will be the card where they will shine. You'll see this in Hugs decks, which is kind of neat, and as a political strategy of like, give you land. So that's the only really implication I see there. Maybe you'll see some Standard play if you got a really aggressive green-red deck or a Simic Merfolk deck or something like that, but that's a really, really big downside to ramp your opponent. Alright, next up we have a 6 mana 5/4 with Enrage. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals 3 damage to the target opponent. This is pretty sweet. This has a lot of implications of kind of reverse pings and stuff like that. Being able to kind of magnify damage, maybe like gut shot this thing to deal 3, kind of pseudo get around different things. Swing in, they have to chump block. You actually go over the top. There's a lot of interesting things to do with this card. Modern, I think it's a little slow, obviously. 6 mana for 5/4, it's not great, especially with only that effect. I think Standard, this card will shine, though. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how well this does in Standard. And I think it will be part of some cheeky combos with Commander. Having 4 toughness and being able to 3 damage, you could probably pariah this or something like that and really have a lot of fun with it. But I don't see it for any other formats besides for that. Standard and Commander. Now, limited, yeah, draft these. You only probably want 2 of them max. but this will be your top end, and this will finish game, so we'll lock up a board pretty badly. 3 mana 2/2 says raid. Raid mechanics back, which is pretty cool. I think that was from Cons, I want to say. Yeah. Maybe it was Origins, I'm not sure. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you attacked with a creature this turn, target opponent discards a card. Awesome card. I'm really excited for something like this. This is for sure standard playable, really good and limited. It may actually see its way in some budget modern decks. I don't really know for sure, but it's definitely this really awesome card. You swing in, turn 3, play your land, swing in, play this guy, main phase 2. You got them on the discard. Really just solid effect. I like it a lot. This is a bear, black bear, black and 1, 2/2. It's a vampire, soldier. This may be relevant for if they have more tribal effects for vampires, but as of right now, no. Draft unlimited. That's it. Next one is black and 1 for 1/1, but it has flash, and it says when it enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it for each creature that died this turn. This is going to be really neat to see how big this guy's going to get. I really like this as a 2 mana 3/3 flash and a turn after really good trades and blocks, stuff like that. This card is actually going to surprise a lot of people, and I like it a lot. This will most of the time be a 2 mana 3/3 with flash. That is probably what it's going to be. The worst part about this is you are really dependent, because late game this top deck doesn't top deck very well at all. Now mid to early this top decks really well and makes you so you can be really aggressive, especially if you're an aggro matchup, and be able to kind of push through and force a lot of things, and they have to be scared of being able to basically buff this guy when he comes out. So really need to see where this goes. I think this actually has some capability of beating modern. Very little, but it does have some capability. I think it's a good budget option for some aggro decks. Alright, we have 5 mana instant, does 4 damage to target creature or player. Yeah, this is burn. I really hate 5 mana, 4 damage. I'm happy that it's there, but I really think this could have been 4 mana, 4 damage. Same thing across the board. I'm happy it's instant. That helps. This is extremely high draft pick. Being common, you're going to see a lot of these. I haven't seen enough aggro in this, and the Grixis Pirates are supposed to be kind of the aggro, but it looks like they're more creature-based. So we'll see how this pans out. But definitely, if you are even remotely thinking about going burn in a draft, you want to pick these. I don't think these will make standard play with what we have right now with Magma Spray and a couple other cards coming up. But we'll see how this card pans out. I highly doubt I'll see any constructed play at all, and it really shouldn't. It's really bad in comparison. Ripjaw Raptor. Green, a 2 for 4/5, and Rage. When still damaged, draw a card. Solid. Really solid card. I like this card a lot. I'm really excited about cards like this. This is a premium body for an appropriate cost. Really cool mechanic. There's no downside to it. This is just a long-run great Magic card. I'm really excited about it. It's a bomb in limited. It will see constructed standard play for sure. Absolutely. And I'm actually considering it for mono green Stompy at the top end. It has 2 devotion for green for aspect to Hydra, and it's also a card draw mechanic later on if you're going for a little more of a grindy matchup, or if you're playing like tokens and stuff like that, where if they're doing chump blockers, you're getting cards off of it. So really excited for that. All right, next one is Treasure Map. 2 mana artifact. It says 1 tap, scry 1, put a counter on it, the landmark counter. If there are 3 or more counters on it, remove those counters, transform it, and create 3 treasure tokens, and also as well get a bonus. That bonus is it transforms into a land. Now this is the first time that in this one the artifacts are turning into lands, which kind of is very thematic, and I like it a lot. This I see actually being pretty darn playable. I don't see it being modern playable. It's a little slow for that, but this will see standard play. Having the mechanic of getting drawing cards off your treasures, not just mana, is pretty huge. It is a little bit weird. I will say that it is very weird. A weird thing. It basically how they explain it is this map is taking you here, and so it turns into a land. So it comes down to. So very thematic with the whole pirate theme. But you're getting 3 treasures off this. You can instantly, not instantly, but next turn you can be able to turn one of the treasures into a card. It really is an extremely powerful mechanic. This is, you could have the treasures early for ramping, or you can have it late for drawing cards. This makes it really, really powerful, this mechanic, to kind of go to the next level. So I'm really excited for cards like this. And it's really, really aggressively costed, too. Bomb Unlimited, and we'll see standard play. Maybe the implications of this in modern, I don't know, depending on how much more they do with the commander, or with the treasure mechanic. Next, we have a 3-mana Planeswalker. Oh boy. 3 blue 1, you get a Jace, and a 3 loyalty Planeswalker. Big one about this is he says a legendary Planeswalker. What that is they are changing the rules moving forward for Planeswalkers as a whole once the set releases, which is all Planeswalkers printed before, during, or after this will be legendary. And so you can have this Jace and Jace the Mind Sculptor out at the same time, and you don't have to sacrifice one like you used to. So there is that change coming, which is making most Commander players just like flip out, but that is happening. Now, this Planeswalker here is bad. I don't like it at all. It will be okay in maybe an aggro shell, but I still just don't see it. If it only just drew a card for each creature that attacked, maybe that'd be okay, or for each creature, but it says when 1 or more, so it's just not very good for a +1. It doesn't protect itself. His -2 only makes a 2/2 bear, which is really, really bad. I wish it would have been a illusion, like a flyer or something like that, so at least the next turn then you could get in with evasion. The 2/2 is typically not going to get in on turn 4 after you play this guy, so it's not what it is. And then your payoff in the end is only you get 2 more of these. Oh boy. So it's just not. It's not what we wanted from a 3-mana Jace Planeswalker, but I think they knew that, and they're powering down the level of Planeswalkers at 3 mana. Alright, I'm going to open up these cards in different tabs so we can easily read what they actually mean, but we'll cover this guy first. We have Dire Fleet Captain Rakdos, which is black-red. He's 2/2, so 2 mana 2/2. Whenever he attacks, he gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other attacking pirate. Solid, really good aggro card. This is going to be a bomb in limited. You're going to get 2 or 3 of these guys on the board, live in Magic Christmas Land, and just be swinging for all kinds of damage. So, really, really cool. You will see this in standard. I don't know to what extent, but if there is a Rakdos or even a Grixis pirate deck that becomes competitive, this guy will be part of it, for sure. Alright, first one. Militant Dinosaur, green, white, and 5 for a 4/6. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. This card is bad. Alright, yeah. It's just bad. Good limited. Big guy unlimited. Don't want to draft a lot of them. Yep, that's it. Alright, blue, black, and 3 for a 3/3. It gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So kind of a affinity kind of style for this. So really cool. And then black, blue, 2, create a colorless artifact token named Treasure. So really cool. Your treasures power this guy up. I think this actually could see standard play. And possibly be in some variants of the Sword of the Meek and kind of Thopter Foundry, blue-black control. Possibly has a big beater in that, but I'm not 100% because it's out of Fatal Push range. It'll be out of bolt range immediately, so only Path deals with it. So it could be a real thing in that deck. So that could be where it could be. But really like the card. Art's beautiful. Alright, invite the party. Black, white, and 2, sorcery, create 3 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink. Very powerful. We'll see how much of a vampire sub-theme, again, is appreciated in this set or the next. The lifelink is what makes it so it has an extra 1 or an extra 1 cost to it. I see this as it's playable. It's really good and limited. It's possibly playable if we get more thematic or tribal vampire stuff in the future. That's what we really need to make the card like this, even remotely playable. ETB effects, stuff like that. Deathless Ancient, black, and 4, or 4/4. This is another Vampire Knight, and this is what we talked about, where you need some tribal stuff for it. It has fly and tap 3, untapped vampires you control, return Deathless Ancient from your graveyard to your hand. So, it's not good. 6 mana 4/4 and limited is good. This shouldn't really see play in standard, and it definitely won't see play in any other constructed formats, but it's a card for limited. Really good bomb in limited. 6 mana 4/4 flyer is usually really good, especially with recursion like that. So, alright, this one actually is the first really exciting card that has some possible implications moving forward. So, blue and 2 enchantment. Whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. This is an awesome enchantment if you play this in limited. So draft or seal. Build around this card, has a great time, overrun your opponent. This may actually see some standard play, and I do see this in a possible mono blue Merfolk in modern, as a way to kind of go wide or go in more grindy matchups, and be able to kind of keep the pressure on. So really cool. I'm excited for this card and see what it actually ends up being in the end. This is kind of the all-star uncommon so far for the set for me. Alright, some more foreign cards. And first one. Kumina's Omen Speaker. It's a 1 green Merfolk. It gets +1/+1/+1 as long as you control another Merfolk or island. It becomes a 1 mana bear. Really solid. This will not replace anything on modern, but it will see most likely some play in standard. I see this being really good in standard as a 1 mana 2/2. If you don't know, you can definitely play this turn 1, turn 2 lay an island and attack for 2. So that's how this card really plays out. We'll see how far it goes. Pillar of Genius, 2 mana artifact. As Pillar of Genesis, my bad. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Add 1 mana to your mana pool. Spend on those specifically. So it's kind of like the land we talked about earlier, the Unclaimed Territory and Cavern of Souls. But this is an artifact form. This will see a lot of play in Commander. I don't think this will see any play in Modern. It may splash as a budget option. And this may see a little play in 3 or 4 color decks in Standard, just as a mana fixer. But really cool card. I think it's a really good mana rock for budget options, and I hope it does a lot for those decks and for those players that have to save a little bit. That's there. Now, 2 mana artifacts are interesting, and I really hope that maybe it's pushed enough to be something. Alright. Twilight Legion Battleship. Really cool card. Art-wise and kind of flavor-wise. It's a 5 mana 4/6 vehicle with crew 2. Really interesting. Has vigilance, so it's a possibility that this will see some standard play. I don't think it will, because it's not as good as the Lifelinker flyer. That's a 3/6 or something like that. 3/5. But it's neat. It's a bomb in limited. This thing will do really well in limited. So let's just hope you get it in your draft or your sealed pool. Alright. Sweet. Oh, we got one more here. All the foreign cards. Alright. Infuriated Gladiodon. Yeah, he's pretty mad. Red, green, 3, dinosaur, trample, 5/5. 5 mana, 5/5 with trample. Done. Good. That's okay. Now, but when he enters, it deals 1 damage to each other creature. So it has a small kind of pyroclasm effect. By small, I mean half of what a pyroclasm is. But it will be nice. It would be a great creature for limited for sure, and may have some standard play. It's just close enough to me being in standard. Okay. Red balloon 2, 4/3. At the beginning of end step, if you attack with a creature this turn, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This is really cool. This can happen every turn. Awesome. This is the kind of card that really will do really well in these colors. Bomb and limited. Hopefully it's good enough in standard. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but we can have hope. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely play the heck out of this in standard if you can. Bellowing Aegisaur. 6 mana, 3/5. Whenever it is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. This has this actually may be really dumb in standard, and I guarantee someone's gonna try it in modern. But the big thing that's being talked about with this card is you have Walking Ballista. So you play this card, play Walking Ballista. You ping this guy with Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista gets another counter, but your whole team gets a counter beside for him. So you have 2 or 3 other guys out. You get kind of aggressive. Maybe you have multiple Walking Ballistas, something like that. You can ping this guy 5 times until he dies. So, you kind of see where I'm going with that. You end up making your team really big, or your Walking Ballista at least be able to put out this damage. If you have 2 Walking Ballistas, it's really good. It's cheeky, but I do see it being a possibility. It could actually end up being a weird kind of pseudo deck with this guy right here in Walking Ballista. It's not that far-fetched. I see it being something. Then I see Solemnity shutting it completely down, but we can only hope. Alright, the next few cards are out of the Planeswalker decks. One is a Jace Planeswalker, one is a Hotly Dinosaur Knight. I'm just going to call it Dinosaur Knight deck. Your typical reprints of your Willowed Stream and your Stone Quarry. And we have our first card, Sunblast Mount. Red, white, and 3, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, you can search up her, reveal it, and then put it in your hand. If you search the library this way, shuffle it. This is just like the rest of them, besides for it's a 5 mana 4/4 you're getting, and you're able to get her out of the graveyard or the deck. So, really neat. I like the difference in the whole flavor of the mount coming to get its master and kind of saving it, if you will. So, pretty cool. Next one is 1 mana instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. If you control her, that creature gets +4/+0 until end of turn. So definitely cause some kind of blowouts there. I don't know. It's just not good. It's not gonna be good enough, and that's unfortunate. This is just not gonna be what we want in any format there. Unless she becomes her regular one becomes really good and we don't see it, but I don't see it. This one definitely is going to make it. 2 mana, 2/2, nice little bear, in this case a dinosaur. Plus has Vigilance. Solid card. That's exactly what I want from there. This actually may be one of the big cards that people are going to need for their standard decks to play lower cost, kind of aggressive, or not aggressive, but defensive creatures to survive the early game. So I hope it works out that way. 2 mana, 1/3. If you control a Jace Planeswalker, this guy gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. So you get a 2/3 for 2, and if you get this guy, you can't be blocked. Pretty decent. Nothing to write home about, but pretty decent. 5 mana sorcery. You return 2 card creatures, and then you do the same thing. You look in your graveyard / deck to get him out. So it's okay. It's not the best possible thing, but it's okay. That looks like one of the other not planeswalkers, but legendary creatures in the set, so that's kind of a flavor art there, but yeah, it's only okay. 4-mana enchanted creature. When it enters, you tap the creature, and it doesn't tap. This is your typical kind of lockdown tap effect. Really interesting. That kind of explains that he's a castaway for the flavor of the set. I definitely look at there. Next one is green, or correction, red, white, and 4 for 4 loyalty. And her +2 is put 2 +1 counters on up to 1 target dinosaur you control. Next one is -3. Target dinosaur you control deals power, its power to target creature you don't control. So it's a one-way fight. And then all dinosaurs you control get +4/+4 until the turn. I would have really liked this to say, like trample, and then like something with enrage or something like that as well. This is pretty weak ultimate for this. Now it is only a 3-turn ultimate, so I can't argue too much, but it could have been a little bit better. At least you have trample. Now we have Big Jace here, 6 mana, 5 loyalty. Again, I don't know why there wasn't 5 loyalty on this one, but whatever. +1 draw a card, seems good. +1 untap all creatures you control, that's good. And -6, gain control of up to 3 target creatures. Wow, alright. This guy actually could see play in Commander. He's not amazing, but he does a lot of things that Commander players want to do. Provide combo options, and then have a good payoff, and then where typically you're going to get 3 big guys that you want to actually take control of. So, decent for Commander. I probably end up selling a lot of these guys in comparison to this, unless this has some really cool burn card that's spoiled later on. Alrighty, we're getting to more recent stuff here. Sentinel Tome, 1 mana, artifact. When it comes into play, you scry 1, you can tap, exile it, and exile all cards from all graveyards. So, this is kind of a weird card because a lot of people in Modern play Relic of Progenitus. And the reason they do that is because 1 mana, you can tap it to force target player to sacrifice, or not sacrifice, exile 1 card from the library, or from the graveyard. Wow, just messing it up. Then you can pay 1, sacrifice the artifact, and both libraries, all libraries, are exiled. So, very similar to this card. Where this one's a little different is obviously it doesn't have the whole tap, and you can just kind of slowly, incrementally get rid of their stuff. But this does have a scry on it, and it allows you not have to pay mana, the second mana, to actually pop the whole thing. So, this has ups and downs. I actually see this seeing play over Relic in some cases, for some decks. Or combo feature decks, this is going to be a little bit better. And I really hope that this has a chance. Now the other one does draw a card, I will give that, but there's possibility here. I really do see possibility, and this is awesome. It's a really good budget option instead of Relic. So definitely kind of get a place out of these, hold on to them, and they're only uncommon. So next mana is 4 mana enchantment, white and 3. Enters the battlefield, exile non-land permanent opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. So it's fixed there. And the big interesting part about this is your opponents can't cast spells with the same name as exile card. So this has a Nevermore effect on an O-Ring for only 1 mana more. I see this actually being pretty effective and may see some niche play in different formats, even constructed formats down the line. Stuff like possibly Legacy, even Modern, playing something like this just to really lock out a player's whole strategy. It's pretty interesting. I actually like this card a lot, and we'll see how far it goes. This will see a ton of play in Standard. This will lock out a lot of aggro, and will deal with a lot of gods and stuff like that that are hard to deal with. You can just get rid of one and then not have to worry about another one coming for a long time. So really, really cool. I like the card a lot. This is the Dragon Rider that we talked about earlier. Can't pronounce the name to save my life. Hatalei, I don't know. Red, white, and 3 for 3 mana, or for 3 loyalty. This is... I hate when they do this. If it's red, white, or if it has green in it, they always get way less loyalty than what the mana cost is. Blue, it's always like more or almost close. But let's see what she does. You +2, you gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So that's pretty cool. Typically, you're probably playing dinosaurs, so you may get anywhere between 2 to 4 possibly more if you play this really late, but that's not too bad for a +2. Her 0 is she creates a 3/3 dinosaur with trample. So at least this dinosaur, our auto ready, comes out with trample, so really cool there. And then lastly, her -X is she deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. Creatures dealt this way can't block this turn. This is where I actually see this card being able to be playable in Standard and also splashable, like as a one-of, in even some weird Modern decks, like mid-range Modern decks, because you can just play 5 mana, ping, 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 possibly kill something, and then make the other guy unblockable. This shuts down Lingering Soul strategies. This shuts down kind of dirty strategies. I actually legitimately think this has a place in some weird Modern decks. I think it's way too slow for Legacy. I see this actually being playable in Commander pretty well. And Standard, this will see play in Standard if there's even remotely a mid-range deck that plays dinosaurs. For sure, 100%. that being able to split up the damage and then make them just not be able to block is just awesome. Really, really good. Also, the first turn she comes out, she gets 5 loyalty. You can deal with a really big baddie, and then maybe a mana dork and swing it anyways. So there's a lot of options with the card that it could have been really bad, and I think this is actually a lot better than people are giving credit for. All right, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments. I try to look over and see the comments as fast as I can, but let me know your thoughts on some cards. All right, next one is Awakening Sun's Avatar. This is a 8 mana 7/7. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, destroy all 9 dinosaur creatures. All right, well, this is good in Commander. This may see some Standard play. Maybe. I don't really see it doing that, but it's a possibility. Commander's gonna love this thing. It gets up to that big old mana. It's another board wipe with a big body on it. Pretty neat there. But it does not, because you have to cast it from your hand. This will not see play in Modern. If this is said when it enters the battlefield, boom. That would have been. There actually could have been some Reanimator stuff. It could have been, in a gift deck or something like that. But this is not going to work for Modern. All right, next one is Primal Amulet. 4 mana. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And whenever you cast an instant sorcery, put a charge counter on it. If there are 4 or more charge counters, transform it. So let's see what it transforms into. Primal Wellspring. It's a land, like we talked about earlier. And then this has kind of the goggles effect. And by goggles, I mean Pyromancer's goggles. Where you tap, add a mana, any color mana to your mana pool, and when it's spent on instant sorcery, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. So this is really interesting for Commander. Yes, Commander will like this card quite a bit, and then also this will be really good for Standard as well. If there is even a remote kind of control deck and or a burn deck out there. Not burn deck, just control deck, or like a light big burns kind of strategy. This may see some weird implications. If anybody can do it, I know Dylan will definitely be looking at a card like this for Modern. I just don't see it. The other big thing for this card that a lot of people aren't going to realize is it turns it into a land. Lands are really hard to deal with instead of artifacts. The difference between a land and an artifact is astronomically huge when it comes to removal. This is going to be extremely hard to deal with once it flips. So that's really good news for people that are trying to do a strategy. That's why it's going to be awesome in Commander. If you get foil this, hold on to it for a little bit. See how far it goes up. I would just save my copies for the Commander players that don't really want to trade for these. It's going to be really big in Commander definitely later on, if it isn't already going to be respected now. All right, here's a foreign card. 4 mana 2/2, Human Pirate. Enters the battlefield, you may search a library for equipment or vehicle and put the card in your hand. It's okay. It shouldn't have been an uncommon. I think it's a common card. That's all I can really say about that one. Alright. The first of Simic cards that are just okay or bad. Blue, white, and 1, 3/3. You can pay green and 3 to put a count or +1/+1 counter on target creature. Alright, and then you can play blue and 2 to remove a counter from a creature you control to draw a card. This is only okay. This is nothing to write home about. I'm happy this is 3/3 for 3, so at least it's good in that aspect. This is going to be awesome in limited. Definitely drafted for limited. Not that great. May have some standard play just because of how it is just a 3-mana 3/3, but yeah, it's not great. I want cards like this to be really good, and this one just isn't. 4-mana 2/5. Yep, that's what it is. All right, they're bringing back Lightning Strike. 2 mana, red and 1, instant, 3 to what you want. This is the closest you're ever going to get to Lightning Bolt in Standard ever again. This is going to be a house. This is going to see tons of Standard play. This sees budget Modern play. This is awesome and limited. By far one of the premium cards in draft. Definitely get as many copies of this if you're even remotely in red. This card's just going to win you games by itself. So, as close as we're going to get to Lightning Bolt, and Lightning Bolt is one of the earliest cards that everyone still plays 4 of copies in a whole lot of decks. So, play it. Siren Storm Tamer, 1 blue for a 1/1 flyer. And it's okay. But she has an interesting ability. 1 blue Sacrificer, counter target speller ability that targets you or a creature you control. It's a limited, narrow counter, but it is there. I see this as a control option in Standard, and I really hope that it ends up being something of that nature. This will stop things like Fatal Push blowing things up, a lot of your castaways and stuff like that, or cast out. I'm really kind of, these cards usually in a Standard meta are better than people give them initially. In Modern, there's just a lot of better options in Modern across the board, but in Limited, it's going to be a little bit more narrow as well, just because there's not as much consistency for spells, but it's still going to be a decent card. This is okay. I really hope it is a lot more playable than I think it is in Standard. Yes, I agree with you, Gabe. Lightning Strike is an awesome Standard reprint. Alright, next one is a 2-mana 1/1. It says when it gets +2/+2 as long as you control a dinosaur, and you get a mana of any color just by tapping it. A mana dork that gets bigger when you play your bigger guys. Alright. This card's going to be a house in Standard. I think it's going to be really, really good. They don't want to print any Elvish Mystics or Llanowar Elves again, so it's kind of like the best you're ever going to get again in Standard for at least a good while. This guy is awesome. He is what you want in a mana dork. You want to be able to play him early, get your 4 drops out on turn 3, and then the second he loses his mana ramp kind of, era about him, he still is a 2-mana 3/3 when you have that dinosaur. So then he's a beater. These are that is exactly what you want a card like this to do. I'm really, really happy this guy exists. He will see tons of Standard play. If there's even remotely good dinosaurs in this set and next set, then it possibly could even go to Modern. It's close. I'm only going to say that. But it's only close by, imaginary dinosaur tribal standards. But Standard, awesome. Play him, enjoy him. Limited, draft all of them, because I will be. Really cool card. Let's see here. I think we actually have a bunch down here I missed. I just realized that. Sorry for how fast this is swiping by. Okay, all the commander stuff. Okay, let me just click on this. That'd be better. Anything that we didn't talk about? Yeah, here we go. Alright, Rowdy Crew. 4 mana 3/3 with Trample. It's a pirate. It says when it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards at random. If the 2 cards share a card type that are discarded this way, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Rowdy Crew. Really interesting card. Not a huge fan of it. Really good. It's a decent card for limited. I'll have to see the deck that this works in standard. I don't know if it really does. The clause of they have to share a card type is kind of difficult for this guy to be a 4-mana 5/5 with trample. So don't ever count on that happening. Now, what I will say is you do get a card advantage. You get to draw one card off of this, but the discard at random 2 cards is a little difficult, and so that will be a negative overall. All right, next one is Bishop of Rebirth. 5 mana, 3/4 with Vigilance. Which attacks, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is kind of like Sun Titan, besides for it has to be a creature. And she has to attack. It isn't just ETB as well. At least she has Vigilance, and she has 4 toughness, so she's going to survive a lot of things. So there is a little bit of that. Now, I don't know exactly. Okay. Awesome. Unbelievable. Hey, my wife. Hey, look at that. Next one is Boneyard Parlay, which is a 7-mana sorcery. Exile to 5 creatures cards from graveyards. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put all cards from the piles of your choice onto the battlefield under your control, and the rest into your owner's graveyards. I think this is an awesome card for Commander. And I know that's like a way of like saying the card's bad in a weird way, but this is where that card's gonna go. Anybody that thinks otherwise, kudos to you. I don't see this doing anything else besides for that at all. But it's going to be really cool with Commander. It's going to cause a lot of things. Because the thing is this says from graveyards. It doesn't say your graveyard. So you can have a ton of fun with the shenanigans that are going to happen from this. So, yeah. Commander all the way. Another 7 mana. Big sorcerer here in red. Destroy target land. Star of Extinction deals 20 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Like we said, going to Commander. Really flavorful. Yeah. Really, really cool card for Commander. And I'm excited to have a foil of this. I think it's going to be a beautiful card. And yeah, we're hopefully be able to get a few of those. I don't think they're good mythics. I think it's really bad mythics. And I think that was really poor choice on their part to do something like that. But that's Wizards for you. Alright, this one is 6 mana, 7/6. Can't be countered. Trample Hexproof. Mythic. This actually will this we'll see. This will see standard play. I don't know if it's gonna be great or not, but this will see standard play. Limited. This is the biggest bomb. Wow, this guy is just gonna be awesome. You're gonna play this and be like, huh, deal with that. I am only the way this guy dies is if you get like triple blocked, and even then you're just 3 for 1-ing. It's gonna be great. So play this card, love this card, enjoy this card. Really, really cool. Alright. Next one. 3 mana 2/2. If you guys are just joining, I already did a lot of these cards. For whatever reason they weren't on the list, like with the list that was going off initially, so I'm trying to go back through and just do the ones that I haven't gone over so far. And let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything in particular, what I think about a card for a certain format or whatever. Next one is the 3 mana 2/2 Vampire Cleric, which is just a weird thing to say. Legendary creature. Whenever one or more non-token vampires you control attack, create a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink. Really, really weird. I don't know. I mean, I understand why he's legendary, so this just doesn't get out of hand with triggers and stuff like that. But it's not good for Commander because he can't really. I mean, he's not going to be a great Commander because there's not very many white vampires at all. And yeah, this is a thing. I'm not too excited about this person at all. Now, for Vampire Tribal, it's gonna be great. But all of Shadows and Eldritch Moon are out of the set, so once this is gonna rotate out, so it's not gonna be great in the end. Okay. You need what? It'll be good. Yeah, it will be good in an actual vampire tribal deck, like as just a one of in commander or whatever, and it'll be good in standard decks for sure. But it's not great in modern. It's a little slow for that, and you only want like a 2 of anyway because it's legendary. But I agree, it is an interesting card. All right, 5-mana enchantment. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you create a treasure. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. I really feel like this is this is going to be a really big win con. Because there's a lot of things that give you like 2 or 3 treasures, or when this thing happens, treasure. It's kind of a constant form of treasure, always. So I'm excited for it, but we'll see how it pans out. Basically, if you don't have enchantment removal, this guy's gonna hose you 9 times out of 10. Next one, we have a Captain Lannery Storm, red and 2/2, legendary creature, human pirate, with haste. When she attacks, create a treasure, and whenever you sacrifice a treasure, she gets +1/+0 until end turn. Really cool aggro card. I wish she was a 2-mana, like 2/1 or something like that. I think it would have been a lot more aggressive that way. But she has haste, so that's really good. This is gonna be interesting. I see it. I like that she also adds treasure, so she at least can enable herself. All right. Seguin Sacrament, white and X. You gain twice X life. Put Seguin Sacrament on the bottom of its owner's library. It's an instant spell. Yeah, it's a life gain spell. You're not happy to open it. It's interesting. It doesn't really pay off until you are like in 5 mana, so you get 6. What's that? 6 mana, you get 8. Yeah, it's not that great. But at least it's auto recursion. That's kind of interesting, I guess. Alright, next is Blue 1, Legendary Merfolk Wizard. Spells your opponent's control target a merfolk you control costs 2 more. Abilities your opponent's control that target a merfolk costs 2 more to activate. It's 2/2. This we'll see play in Modern Merfolk. I've already talked to a couple Merfolk players. Guaranteed to see Modern play, and I'm excited for it. The big thing is this is a Merfolk as well, so the Lords will buff it, where the Mirror Breaker, or I can't remember her name, does not. So really cool. I'm happy it exists. But this will see some Modern play for sure, and will be an absolute house for the Merfolk deck in Standard. Really good in Tribal, Limited as well. Alright, next up we have Jedi Tracker, 1 mana 1/1, Human Pirate, rare. Black and 1, tap, exile 2 target cards from an opponent's graveyard. This guy explores. This is interesting. I don't like how you have to tap him, but it's really nice at a 1 mana 1/1. I want to see what this actually ends up being in late game. I would see this actually as a sideboard answer in Modern, and that's weird to say, but being able to exile just 2 target cards from an opponent graveyard, and then you get a benefit of kind of a scry rule, or kind of a card draw if it's land, is really interesting. And I actually hope this card sees enough play. I will probably test it as a sideboard answer in my Fairies deck in Modern. So I'll say that. I will stick to that. So, all right, next one is the red avatar. So 6 mana, and it's a dinosaur. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target opponent and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. It's a 6/6. Really cool. I'm happy it's an ETB effect. You can blink this guy and kind of Sun Titan, but or not Sun Titan, but Inferno Titan. But you also get to hit an opponent as well. So this is really neat. Now just understand that it's weird effects like this that are kind of difficult. So, for example, if your opponent has Leyline of Sanctity out, you can't target an opponent. Yeah, it just sucks. But I don't know, it's really, really good. I'm happy. Actually, I want to play it in Commander, and it will see a lot of standard play in the whole Naya Dinosaur deck. Alright, 1 green enchantment. Whenever a creature you control becomes target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. This card could see a lot of play in Modern. We'll see play in Commander for sure, and also we'll see play. Most likely, we'll see play in Standard if there is a tempo-y mid-range deck that's trying to get incremental growth out of this. I hope so, but the only downside of this card is it says opponent controls. If this was just whenever it becomes target a spell or ability, this card would have been broken. Would have been super cool. But I'm happy they pushed it 1 mana. This will be an all-star for a lot of different formats that are trying to abuse the kind of 1-for-1s. Because this is one of those cards that for advanced play where... So I play, let's say, Wild Nikado, which is a 1 mana 3/3. Okay? And you want to lightning bolt it or fatal push it or whatever. Normally that 1-for-1, you're gaining tempo because you probably are in a control matchup, or you're probably playing some kind of control where you're alleviating me from doing what I want to do. But a card like this allows it so when you do that, I get another card and allows me to at least stay up or paired with that, with that kind of tempo, which is super important. So it needed to be 1 mana, and it definitely could not have said, whenever it's target, because it would have been abused like crazy. Alright, next is the 3 mana 2/3 flyer. Pretty good for limited. And it says creatures your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. This guy is going to be an all-star for the dinosaur deck that is trying to tempo off a lot of the aggro from like Runap Red and stuff like that. Also is a decent creature for 3 mana, so yeah, draft this guy. Hope you get him in the sealed pool and play dinosaurs. Really, really cool. I like this guy a lot for that. He won't see play in Modern, and it may be a little bit of play in Commander if they're trying to be dinosaur or tribal or something like that, but limited and standard, this will see play. Alright, blue next, sorcery, gain control of target creature with converted mana cost X. This is a really cool, interesting card. I like this actually as a budget option for Modern. Be able to take a Death Shadow and either kill it off because you're at high health, or just having a Death Shadow, for only 3 mana is really, really cool. There's a lot of cards like this out there, but this is a nice functional print of a card, and I think it will see a decent amount of play in Standard, and I really hope there's a lot of options for this card. I hope this is better than what it looks like on the face of it, if that makes sense. I haven't played Standard enough in a while to know kind of where the meta's at for something like this to be good. I don't believe it's going to be that great, but who's to say? All right, black and 1, 2/1 menace. When this guy attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 black pirate creature with menace. This guy's going to be awesome. He's going to go on a Rakdos strategy, aggro strategy. This guy and a couple that we already talked about is going to be super, super good. Play all of them, enjoy it. The Rakdos pirate in draft is going to be insane. Watch out for it. Have an idea about how to stop it, because it was going to come, and it's going to be super, super aggressive. And yeah, this is going to happen. It's going to be really unfortunate when you lose to it too, because it has a lot of recursion, a lot of hand interaction, and it's not fragile. Like, they have a lot of stuff backing it up now with Lightning Strike and a couple other burn stuff. Alright, 7 mana, creature human pirate. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double the damage to a permanent or player instead. It's a 4/4. There's already a lot of enchantments that do this. It's not going to see enough play at all. It's not going to be great. Sadly, there's a lot of cards that do this already much, much better. And that's all it comes down to. Good limited. That's good limited. Alright, next one, Avatar, Verdant Suns, 7 mana, 5/5. When it enters or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. This is an all-star in limited. This is a really expensive Thragtusk, and has a possibility. Yeah, this may see play in Commander, and it may or may not see play in Standard. I have to see what tools an Dinosaur deck gets to be able to kind of make this work. Alright, Takati's Honor Guard. White and 1, 1/3. Human Soldier. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. This is a Torpor Orb effect. That's an artifact that does exactly the same thing. This is a really cool budget print, and also it is something that you can hit with Coco or anything like that. I don't know why you would want to hit with Coco with that, but at least it's a different option to be able to get that isn't Torpor Orb. This will see play in Commander, because Commander is all about ETB effects. This will see play in Standard, because of a lot of the different effects that are going to be in Standard that need to have a decent creature to be able to block as well. I like this guy a lot. I don't know. It's not going to be an expensive card. I think this is going to be your $2 rare, maybe $1.50 somewhere in there. But it's a great card. Beautiful art. Alright, 4 mana, 2/3, Merfolk Warrior. Creatures you control with ++ counters on them can't be blocked. This guy is going to win so many games. It's funny. Anybody that thinks it isn't going to win games is out of their mind. There is a lot of different token strategies out there. This will probably be a finisher for some modern decks. This will be amazing in Commander. This guy's going to come out and just be like, I win. And yeah, you're going to have to find a way to deal with him, is what it comes down to. This is a solid 4 mana rare, and I'm really happy it exists. He's going to win games. And it's a Merfolk, which is absurd. But yeah. Tell me what you think about that card. Alright, 3 mana, 3/2, Orc Pirate. That says raid at the beginning of your end step. So end step raid. If you attacked with a creature this turn, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. You lose life equal to the converted mana cost of the card. So this is kind of like Dark Confidant, but with a raid mechanic built in. Cards like this are really underappreciated. This guy, playing this on main phase 2, end of turn, get a card, next turn, draw, have more gas, finish him off. This guy's going to be a nice, really nice on-curve creature for the Rakdos Standard deck. And I guarantee you we'll see play in Standard, and we'll probably see a little bit of play in Modern. Like, absolutely. It's for sure. He's aggressively pushed, good body, has a pirate theme, so it's going to trigger all your other stuff. This guy's going to be awesome. I'm really happy cards like this exist. Yeah, it's definitely scary cards. Both these cards are really scary. Alright, Sunbird's Invocation, 6 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, reveal the top X cards from your library, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. You may cast a card revealed this way with converted mana cost X or less without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Alright, well, this is automatically going to Commander decks. This may be pushed enough to see play in Modern or something like that. This will see play in Standard as well. This has a weird cascade built into every spell that you actually play. I don't understand why. Like, it's not cascade because you only reveal a certain number of cards, but like cards like this have a chance of not breaking something, but being really good. And I know they really try to overcost it, which is the only thing that's saving a card like this. But yeah, this card's gonna be really cool in Commander, and I actually think it could see some weird play in a constructed format. I know that Standard's gonna build some kind of crazy deck out of it I've never heard of, and it's gonna go combo off, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, well, whatever. But I'm excited for cards like this. Really cool. What a fun card. I'm happy they printed something like this. Alright, Waker of the Wilds, 4 mana, 3/3. Good. Green Rain and X, but X +1/+1 counters on target land you control. That land becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. See how this doesn't say until end of turn? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, that means I'm just making big old goose. Best part, so say the next turn it comes out. Say you randomly get stuck on 4 mana. You make a 2/2. You can then use this ability the turn after and put 3 more counters on it, so now it's a 5/5. Okay, so now you got a 4 mana 3/3 and a 5/5 land. Like, it's gonna be this is a card, and I think this is gonna be a lot of people are gonna get blown up by this card. It's gonna control the board, and it's only gonna get bigger and worse and worse and worse. I'm actually surprised that they waited to print this for so long. I feel like this is something that should have been printed back with like BFC or whatever as a mythic and like have a lord effect with it. But yeah, this card's gonna actually be really, really good, and I think it's gonna be really, really good in standard. I think this card could be played in modern. Limited, this is probably one of the biggest bombs in the set, and is a very push card. 4 mana 3/3 is not bad. With that ability, yeah, that's just awesome. Being able to choose the same creature again, and it's always a creature, it is inevitability. I'm going to have 10/10s, and you're going to have nothing. Alright, 1 mana 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may reveal a dinosaur card from your hand. If you do, you gain 2 life. That's neat. I'm not excited about it, but it's neat. 5 mana, sack the sky, search your library for a dinosaur card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your library. Yeah, I mean, if you have the bombs, this is a really good limited card. It definitely has some interesting effects in limited. I mean, this is good for a sideboard answer for the standard dinosaurs that's going to happen to basically fight off Runap Red and the Rakdos freaking Pirates deck that's going to be really good. But I don't see it being that great in the end. It's going to be a blocker. Yeah, white, and 3. Yeah, I don't like the card. 6 mana sorcery. Return all 9 land permanent target creature target player controls to their own hand. It's a wannabe Cyclonic Rift. Really good for the control deck in standard. Really good in limited. And we'll see small play in Commander, but only a little bit of play. Nah, way too slow for Modern and every other format. Tell me what you guys think about these cards. If I'm wrong and you just want to, tell me stupid, just go ahead and comment and tell me so. I'm more than willing to get your opinion on that. Black and 2, instant, exile target creature or planeswalker, gain 2 life. This is a weird card. I don't know what Wizards was really thinking when the 2 life is just awkward, because what is it? It's something heroic, hero downfall or whatever that does it doesn't exile it, but it destroys it. Same thing, but it's 3 mana. So for 4 mana, you're paying to exile it, and then you gain the 2 life. I feel like if it was like 4 life, I think this would be fair. It's really, really good for standard. Awesome for limited. I don't know. I think they may have just wanted this card to get it to like be like, okay, Gideon's cycling now, but we really wanted to print a card to make Gideon really sad or something. I don't know, but this is not. If this was 3 mana, I'd be writing all about it. It'd be awesome. 4 mana, I don't see it. Let me know what you think about that one. I actually want people's opinions on that one. Alright. Skin Shifter. 3 mana, 0/1, haste. When this thing attacks, it becomes a copy of another target non-legendary attacking creature until end of turn. Huh. It's a human shaman. Weird. This card will see modern play. You watch. I almost guarantee it. It's gonna see standard play. I think it's gonna be decent enough for modern. Yeah, I think so too. The contempt is just not. I agree with you, Gabe. I just don't see it for. I want to be playing Damnation instead of that, in my opinion. But This skin shifter, I actually do think, because it is a 3-mana haste that becomes a copy of whatever you want, this could see modern play. There's no downsides to it. It doesn't have like it becomes an illusionary or something like that. This is really, really nice on curve. I really like this card a lot. The cards like that excite me because, you know, you swing out with they just become another copy of like your best creature, and that's always exciting. For 3 mana to become another copy of your best creature and to surprise people with, I think this is super, super cool. So I'm excited about it. I really like it. I like that one a lot. I'm wondering where it's gonna go, but cards like that I think should see a moderate amount of play. In standard, it's gonna be an all-star. I think it's gonna be really, really good in standard. Next one, greater 1 for a 1/1 Merfolk Shaman. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1 counter on Deep Throat Champion. I said it. Deep Root Champion. This card's bad. It's gonna be okay in limited. I don't see it for standard. Definitely not for modern. If this said just whenever a player casts a spell, non-creature spell, it would have been okay, but it needed to be a 2/2, and it needed to be a creature, or just whenever, so it's only okay. Ashes of that. White and 1 enchantment. Players can't cast spells from graveyards, activate abilities, or activate abilities of cards in graveyards. Whenever a creature dies, you gain 1 life. Yeah. Good budget option for Rest in Peace. That's what that card is. Good budget option. Yeah. Alright, Arcane Adaptation. 3 and 2. Whenever it enters battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to the other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. This card is going to be awesome in Commander. Super pumped about it. I guarantee there's some weird combo thing that I haven't even thought of for modding yet. This may see play in Standard. I'm not sure. This is one of those cards that won't be really cool in Standard, but will be awesome for other formats. And that's just good. Alright, we gotta see if somebody actually decoded this thing properly. Alright, black and 3, creature, pirate, wizard, menace, death touch. So it's a 5-mana 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, each player loses a third of his or her life rounded up. Uh-oh, we gotta do math. Math. It's gonna be horrible. I like it. I actually like it a lot. It's gonna be good for Standard. It fits with the pirate theme. It's got really good stats on it. Really good relevant keywords, and it automatically has a presence on the board the second it's cast, so it could be a 2 of or something like that in the Rakdos Pirate deck or the Grixis Pirate deck. So cool. Alright, 4-mana 4/3. When it deals combat damage to a player, it explores. Okay, that's gonna be awesome. All-Star in limited. May see standard play. Other than that, nothing. Settle the Wreckage. White and 2. Instant. Exile all attacking creatures target player controls. That player may search his or her library for that many basic land cards. Put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle his or her library. This card is going to be a blowout so many times, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be hilarious to watch how this card's going to be played, because I know someone's going to make a whole bunch of tokens, attack out, so they have super ramp. That's going to happen. I know people are going to use it for mana fixing. I know it's going to be a huge blowout. Just you're going to alpha strike out, and they're going to play this card, and you're going to cry. It's going to be great. Commander, this is going to be a solid $10+ card. If this isn't $10, I'll be really, really surprised. The foil is going to be crazy because it's going to be really pretty. But yeah, this card's going to be awesome. Let me know what you think about this card and the shenanigans that come from it, but I guarantee it sees tons of Commander play, sees Standard play, and there will be some Modern play for this card. Because most Modern decks play 3 basics. 3 to 5 basics, correction. So I get rid of all your dudes, and the chance of you getting a card or two off of it is minuscule, and they're actually exiled instead of destroyed. Dude, this is gonna be shenanigans and a half. I really like this card. Get your playset. This card is gonna be really, really good. 100%, guaranteed. I'm super excited about that. Alright, 4 mana, 3/3 flyer with flash. I'm in. Can only block other creatures with flying. Okay, that's fine. When it enters the battlefield, if you control another pirate, tap up to 2 target 9/9 permanents. Awesome. On curve. Really, really good. Kind of weird that it has flash. I mean, yeah, I guess it has flash because it's a siren, so it's, you know, trying to avoid you getting blown out from attackers. That makes sense, I guess. But yeah, really cool card. Ready to walk the plank. I already did that one. I already did that one. Wanted Scoundrels. 2 mana, 4/3. One of Scoundrels dies. Target opponent creates 2 treasure. That may come back and bite you in the butt. If this was a 1 mana, 4/3, I think that'd be really, really cool and really, really relevant. But giving your opponent kind of a pseudo ramp, like basically 2 extra lands for the turn that this dies, especially when it's just going to get lightning striked, that's going to be bad. You're going to really hate yourself for playing that card, especially if you played early. Yeah, if you play this turn 2 and they have 2 open mana and they lightning strike this in the turn and then they untap on turn 3 with 5 mana, you're going to be really sad. It's going to be so bad. But we're going to hope. Yeah, I would not play this card. I would be terrified to play a card like this, especially if your opponent's playing red, because this is going to be terrible. Alright, Daring Saboteur, 2 mana, 2/1, human pirate. Can't be blocked this turn if you pay blue and 2. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card if you do discard a card. It's a looter. This actually is, I think this is a Demir card that literally has the exact same pose on the side of a ship, and it loots like this. This needs to only cost 2. It's really expensive for this. Yeah, I don't like cards like this. It's gonna be great in limited. If this sees standard play, I'll be impressed. But I don't see it. At the same time, I do. It is on curve. It's 2 mana, 2/1, and you don't have to do that to get in for damage. But yeah, it's only okay. Shouldn't have been a rare. Should have been uncommon. 7 mana, 3/3, double strike. When it attacks other creatures you control, gain double strike until turn. Wow, that's gonna be pretty ridiculous. Making a 7 mana 3/3 is complete crap. This is just gonna get lightning striked, and you're gonna look stupid. Yeah, that's what I think about this card. Really, really sad that they decided to make this 3/3. Should at least have been a 4/4. This is you're gonna be really, really excited when you play this, and then realize that you fall into a trap. Alright, I think... Nope, we got all the mythics down here. Okay, so... Grixis is 1, 3/3, legendary creature, human pirate. Other pirates you control get +1/+1. Awesome. They happy with that. At the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who was dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. Alright, commander players, get after it. And... this is really, really good for the top end of the aggro pirates deck. This will probably end a game. Yeah, you're gonna probably have to play this main phase 1, swinging off the team. If that doesn't kill them, then you're gonna take their best creature. If they don't, trade it off, or you're gonna take their mana rack or whatever. It's gonna cause combat math to just be really stupid. 4 mana 3/3 is gonna be really good. This guy's gonna be a bomb in limited. I like this guy. This guy causes a lot of different combat math in a way of not just because he pumps your team, but they have to think, okay, if anything gets through, if I don't lose this thing, he's just going to take it. And so that causes a lot of interesting decisions there, which you don't normally get in a lore like this. So A lot better card than people are going to probably see on the surface of it, that are going to cause a lot more decisions, which is just awesome. I love cards that do that. So, all right, Gishla, Sun's Avatar, Naya, and then 5 for 7/6 with Trample, Vigilance, and Haste. All the things. So this guy, turn 8 or sooner, is going to smack down and swing for 7. And then have Vigilance. Holy crap. Okay. When he deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Put any number of dinosaur creatures from among them onto the battlefield from the rest of the bottom library in random order. Holy smokes, man. This card is going to be really insane. If you play this card and it even connects one time, you are... It feels like Menace of Christmas Land, but at the same time, those are real stats with real keyword abilities that are gonna cause things to happen. Like, if you get behind the dinosaur deck and this is played, and this happens, you lose. The chances of you winning that game are just slim to none. He's gonna put like 4 or 5 freaking 6/6s that'll gain you life and all kinds of shenanigans. Wow, that is gonna be a real thing that's gonna happen, and I feel really sad for whoever's in front of that. I would love to. I'm gonna build a weird ramp deck for this. Let's do it. Through the Breach, this guy, swing, Dunzo, all day. Gabe, you in? Through the Breach, Squirrel's Vengeance, 4-color, good stuff. I think it's gonna be awesome. All right, 7 mana Star. No, it's Simic. It's gonna be bad. This is Simic Mythic. It's always gonna be bad. My favorite color combination is Simic, and every Mythic that's Simic is always bad, so this is guaranteed to happen. When the Voice of Thunder's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. Okay, so if I play this card, and this is the last card in my hand, automatically dies. That's sweet. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control. Okay, so for 7 mana, I'm probably going to have maybe 1 or 2 cards left in my hand. Jurassic Park, exactly. I'm probably going to have 1 or 2 cards left in my hand, and they're probably going to just be okay. So I'm going to get a 7 mana 2/2 that draws me maybe 1 or 2 cards. What? I mean, come on. This is probably one of the worst Simic Mythics I've seen. But I mean, this should have been like, draw 7 cards. This should have been there should have been keywords in this, like cannot be blocked. It should have been like, star +2/+2 or something like that. This is just a terrible card. Tell me guys what you think of this card, but I think this is probably one of the worst mythics that I've seen printed in a long time. This is just not okay. This little clause right here is gonna not help it at all. And then no max hand size, whoop-de-doo. I really hate that. Alright, so far, a lot of really strong mythics and then 1 terrible one. Alright, this is the rare here, Hostage Taker, black, blue, and 2, 2/3. When this enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or creature until it leaves the battlefield. You may cast a card for as long as it remains exiled. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. Let me tell you, okay, this right here, this card is bonkers. Bonkers. This is probably the biggest card that will see the most play across the board. I'm trying to think. Yeah, this will probably see the most play. This will probably see Legacy play. This will probably see... For sure we'll see Modern play, because I'm going to play it in Fairies, and I guarantee a lot of Control players are going to play this. Any Grixis stacks are going to play this. This will see a ton of Standard play. This is going to just be one of those powerhouse cards. Commander's going to love this card. Play it in every deck that it can. This is just going to be one of those cards that just really excels. So why is that? So when it enters battlefield, you get to O-ring a artifact or creature that slays battlefield. Awesome. That's cool. Now what else can I do? You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast it. So let me tell you. See, what the second part of that is really interesting because what happens is, so let me take your guy, then I cast your guy from exile. Okay. You then don't get that back if you like bolt this girl, because it's not there anymore. It's under my control then, and then I can spend mana of any type to be able to cast it. So it's even better. So not only do I get to take away your threat, then I get to be able to cast your threat, and you don't even get it back if you take care of this. It's going to be cuckoo. Like, especially you do this in a Flicker deck. I'm going to take your Soul Ring Commander. I'm going to cast your Soul Ring, so you never even get it back. And then I'm going to Flicker her, grab something else, take that, do the same thing. Whenever I have to deal with your guy, I'm going to take that. This card is going to be awesome. I'm super excited about it. I'll be playing definitely a few in Fairies, like I said. I think Grixis will pick it up for Modern, but that is an awesome card to end on. I don't think there's any. There's a couple down here. I think it's only those two. Yeah, it's only those two. Okay. Sorcerer Spyglass, 2 mana. As enters the battlefield, look at your opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Activated abilities of the chosen name can't be activated unless they are mana abilities. This card's only okay. It should have been 1 mana to even make this even remotely relevant. This is Pithy Needle, but worse. And yeah, that's exactly what I say about this across the board. I really don't like a card like this. I wish it was way better. I wish like they couldn't play the card either. That would have been okay. Because you have kind of a weird hand disruption kind of feel to it, but you'll see play in standard, and it's not terrible, but it's just not as good as it could have been. Is what I'm kind of getting at there. Vanquish the Banisher, 5 mana, choose a creature type. Creatures you control the chosen type get ++1. Whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, draw a card. This will see a ton of play in Commander and Tribal. Shouldn't really see play in anything else. 5 mana is way too late to be drawing cards after casting spells after it. +1/+1's not good enough to really have a huge board presence. If this said like +3/+3, then yeah, that would be definitely playable. But that in particular is only okay. Alrighty, so I think that comes to the end of what we currently know about the set. Looks like it. So like I said, probably the biggest card revealed so far is going to be Hostage Taker. I really think that's going to be the all-star card. Some honorable mentions are the Arcane Adaptation is going to be really interesting. I think Rune Raider is going to be pretty good. Also, the land that's kind of like Cavern of Souls, that's going to be a really good budget option for a lot of people. I think this card will win a lot of standard games. I think this is going to just be a turn 5 play this, pass turn. If you can't deal with it, I win the game next turn. That kind of scenario. And yeah, I think that's so far what we got. And then this guy's probably want to be the most, probably a solid $3 to $5 card, maybe even more. He'll see a lot of play. It's a really solid creature. So tell me what you guys think, what your favorites are so far from this set, what cards you're looking for. I'd love to hear from you on those specifically. Any ideas for decks for Modern or Commander or anything like that. But I always love to hear that. Sorry, it was a little bit more long-winded than I wanted it to be, but there was a lot more cards than I thought there was. And we will continue doing this after a few more days of spoilers. I think we should have a whole another week and a half or something like that of spoilers. I think we only, how many do we have here? 85 to 279. So yeah, we have a ton of spoilers to go still. But yeah, tell me what you think of this format, what I can do to improve it. I'm going to stay on for a little bit to hear any comments that you may have. If you have any ideas for me to possibly feature things or talk a little bit more direct about, is this card good for this or vice versa, I'll be happy to give my opinion on it. And yeah, if you don't currently play at the shop or anything like that, definitely come check us out. Our pre-releases will be on the 22nd, 23rd, I believe. We'll have a midnight one, a Saturday, and a Sunday. I'll be posting about those tomorrow. And yeah, that's it for pre-release specifically. I know we have an open house day that has a promo. I think it actually is the land, the Wannabe Cavern of Souls. It's gonna be for that, and then also the buy a box is gonna be a buy a box promo plus a buy a box pack. So I think you're guaranteed a foil rare in there, and then another rare, another foil. It's like they got like 5 or 6 cards in those things now. So it's becoming a better and better option just to buy a box, and our boxes are 110 cash or card. So definitely take advantage of that. Pre-orders are open across the board. I'm going to be posting a link to where you can pre-order in different ways. So all kinds of emails. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we just got done with the spoilers that are currently out. We still have a ton to go. My favorite card so far is the Hostage Taker. What are your guys' favorite cards that are currently spoiled? As a reminder, when this set actually comes out, the rotation of the last two blocks, the oldest 2 blocks actually happens. So BFC, Oath of Gatewatch, Shadows of Innistrad, and then Eldritch Moon all rotate out. So be cognizant of that for standard. You may want to think about moving some of the cards from those sets right now, because they will drop in price. It's pretty important. It's funny how some of the cards they choose to feature as mythics. I don't get it how they choose mythics anymore. Used to have a pretty good strategy to it, but they're so bad now. Like Routed Crew, it's not a good card. That needed to cost like 3 mana. Yeah, 3 red, and 1, that would have been a decent card, but at 4 mana, this is not good enough. You guys are talkative. Is the volume good on the microphone? Is there any like kind of background noise or anything like that? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna wrap up this specifically. I gotta be working tomorrow, but I appreciate everybody staying up with me and watching the video. This should automatically stay on the YouTube itself, so if you want to subscribe to the channel, that's always super helpful. Put a like to the video, that's also helpful to drive a little bit of traffic to it. And I'll try to do more of these more consistently. Is a big thing, so it helps a ton to kind of be able to get the word out and get more people coming to the shop. So very cool. All right, well, love you guys. You guys are awesome. We will see you sooner than later, and you guys have a good night. Bye.